sustainable business. At Mastercard, our mission is powering economies and empowering people, building a sustainable economy where everyone prospers, right? So a pretty big mission. We're a pretty big corporation, but that concept of sustainability is really built at the center of what we do. And obviously we've got two other companies represented here on stage and can have a really interesting dialogue about what does that look like? How do you build for sustainable business at different levels? So JJ, let's start with you. Tell us a bit about Shinwon, how you're involved in the company. We were talking a little bit about this before, and where sustainability fits in the vision and mission of Shinwon.
So hi, I'm JJ. My company's name is Shinuan. I'm based in Korea. Shinuan operates 10 different countries, including ASEAN countries like Vietnam, Indonesia, and Cambodia. So we operate also 16 factories worldwide. So it is a big sustainability means a lot to us because we talk to many our employees, we talk to our many customers, and we know how the world is changing. So we need to find out how much we can go forward and get ready for the future. That is our goal for the company. So our goal is right now is until 2050, net zero is our baseline goal. But more important thing is more about the people and planet. We're trying to grow with our employees together.
Fantastic. And obviously, working in 10 countries with hundreds of production lines, that's a pretty massive opportunity. So Maudy, your company, it's about 2 years old.
Two years old.
Tell us how it started and, where does sustainability fit into its mission?
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Maudy. I'm a singer and actress from Indonesia. But recently, I started on my entrepreneurial journey, and I founded From This Island. We are a consumer beauty brand, and we combine hero extracts, natural extracts from Indonesia with science and innovation to produce great skincare products for the people and for the planet as well. Some of the things we really care about as a startup, we can't achieve yet at a larger scale. For example, we maybe want to be fully integrated one day, fully vertically integrated one day, but we can't do that yet, but we have focused on certain elements of the supply chain that we've tried to own and control as much as possible. So the hero extracts we source directly from farmers and local communities and islands. And what that means is that we are able to provide transparency for our customers and also to help retain a lot more of the value created in the local communities and in the islands themselves. Secondly, we also take it upon ourselves to invest in R&D because Indonesia, I feel, has always historically been known as a place of maybe laborers or raw material suppliers, and I wanted to tell a different story From This Island. I wanted Indonesia to have a stronger voice in terms of innovation and science and technology, and so we are investing in R&D to develop extraction methods that lead to much more powerful skincare effects. So a case in point is our endemic hero ingredient from the island of Papua. It's called the Papua red fruit. It's a humongous bright red fruit that has very, very high antioxidants and has amazing anti-inflammatory properties. And then lastly, some of our products are what we call impact products. 1% of the revenue from those products go back to the islands where we source the hero ingredients from in the form of reforestation efforts or education efforts. So we like to create circularity in that way.
Fantastic. Well, obviously we're here at the ASEAN Inclusive Growth Summit. Your company that's founded from Indonesia, using specifically Indonesian ingredients, I think is really important, right, to demonstrate some of the energy, the innovation that is happening here in terms of how you're building your business. So JJ, your business started in South Korea, but obviously you are represented, you have factories in Indonesia and other places in ASEAN. How did you choose to come to the ASEAN region? Why? And what is is it about this region that is helping you propel your sustainability vision?
So, as I said, my company has been 52 years old, and our first overseas factory was Indonesia. Yes, it is. But the thing was, I don't know why he chose, because he means my father. My father chose it, so I don't know why they choose it. He chose it, but as I see ASEAN countries, used to be my company point of view about ASEAN was more like a manufacturing side. But these days, it's not about the manufacturing side. We built in 2023, we built a smart factory, AI-based, everything is AI-based factory, in decision making by AI, and then next generation, new ERP system. Those things are very powered by that smart factory. Also, last year, we just opened the office. It is a rising hub for us. It's more like our second headquarters. We set it up in Vietnam. The reason we set it up in Vietnam is we see Asian has huge potential, not only manufacturing side, but what we see is more like a design, more like a new technology development and AI driven. Those things are we are focusing to it.
Yeah. So both in addition to functioning here in the ASEAN region, having sustainability built into your missions and embedding it into the core of your business, both of you also are really focused on the supply chain aspect, empowering others in the communities you serve. So Maudy, how do you think about empowering others in your business and who it touches?
Yeah, I do think the fact that we are sourcing directly from these islands and having that transparency also means that we have almost greater accountability. And we take it upon ourselves to try to give more than we take. So for example, going back to one of our impact products, when we did collect 1% of the revenue, we from a product that uses what's called an ilipe butter, we actually used the funds to reforest several hectares of area in the island that we source the ingredient from, and we actually asked for the thing to be planted to be the tree that produces the ilipe butter. And so I think the idea is that we want to hopefully be, at least on the extract supply chain level, be like a net positive to the communities that we source from. And so, yeah, I do think that connection and that transparency makes me feel more responsible and accountable to do that.
Yeah. So, as businesses have to, think about what are the trade-offs as you incorporate sustainability into your products like you're doing, Maudy. So, JJ, oftentimes there are cost implications, particularly in the apparel business, right, which is incredibly complex. How are you handling those trade-offs?
So definitely, everybody thinks that, I get the question a lot about the cost, because, the going green is always cost more. But we have a good data that's shown that how much we've been saving water. It's like after all this data shows that we save 30% of less use, and we use recycling material system, so we use less material. We also use all the solar panels, and then we only use we buy the electricity only 20%, and use our solar panel. We use 80% of our factory. So those things we have all the data. So, so it's like if you see the short term benefit, definitely it shows up more costly. But if you see the long term, that increases your business. That's what I want to say.
Yeah, and at Mastercard, our philosophy is doing well by doing good. How do we do well? How do we grow the business by doing good, creating environmental and social impact? So, for us, we think about it in those terms too. It is about the long term, it is about the growth, but how we do it as well. But JJ, we only have a couple minutes left. I want to make sure we talk about RISE. You're on the steering board of RISE. Mastercard is a huge, supporter as well of the coalition. Can you talk a little bit about RISE and how that impacts the workers in your supply chain?
Yes. So RISE is it is a worldwide NGO. It connects company, women, and other employees. Also, the organization RISE is connects to company, and also it's for the employees a better and equal opportunity for the supply chain. So using as I'm working with a student board member of RISE, this RISE provides all the new programs like leadership to our employees and what is a woman's right and what can women do rather than just working at the factory. Those things that they educate our employees a lot. Also through the Mastercard. Also Mastercard is one of the student board member of the RISE. Mastercard educate our employees how to make better decisions with the finance, such as like a digital ways. So digital ways, just for example, digital ways, people never had a saving account. People never had a bank account before. But after having a digital ways, they know how to use the money every week and every month. So those kind of things, people's life change a lot, especially also the leadership of the RISE. That also changes a lot because people can, most of Asian culture is more like a man's side house. But woman's right and then the woman can do better than only just housewife. So they think, they just beyond thinking away from the X before experience.
Yeah, and I think what we've seen at Mastercard is when people are financially included through work like you're doing with RISE, there are all sorts of other benefits that happen as well. Oftentimes, by moving into the digital wallet, they're also better able to handle climate impacts and be more resilient and able to adapt. So really love the work that you're doing with them. Okay, so Maudy, we've got a lot of different people in the room, probably some who are thinking about or have already started their own companies. You're 2 years in as a founder. What advice do you have for those trying to start a business, and in particular, how to overcome any challenges of embedding sustainability at the core?
I think what JJ spoke about just now is a good example of how, however big of a company you are, you can always invest more in sustainability. But I think, as someone who's starting, I do have the benefit of trying to incorporate the sustainability component or the impact component from a very, very early age, and the interweaving of our business model as well as the impact model actually, I think, helps consistently keep sustainability as a part of our kind of like core thesis and core identity, and it helps to protect and make sure that that's consistent. And so I would say just ensure that you have a lot of clarity from the very, very beginning on the impact you want to make on the business model and the way that it infuses the impact into the model that you are trying to build. And do not develop them as two separate layers, because I do find that I can definitely see a world where if we had only considered the impact and sustainability component much later, then it's much easier for that to lean as more decorative and less kind of crucial and core to what you're trying to build.
Fantastic. Well, hopefully you've all taken away some tips about how to build a sustainable business. How do you do well by doing good? I think we've got incredible examples here on stage. Maudy and JJ, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ellen.
Thank you.
You.